Damn, okay.
And just as expected, he totally took the bait.
Who got more baited, Akechi or me? I'm confused. Which one of us got more baited? My lord. They thought of everything.
Captured by the police went exactly how we planned it.
And I had been interrogating him with no knowledge of this. But how did you lure Akechi into this cognitive world's interrogation room?
You did when you handed him the phone.
All I needed were the coordinates.
It seems like she used this laptop to remotely access the metaverse. Asking her about it now would drag this conversation on too long. I should talk to her later.
Akechi disposed of the fake in the palace and left thinking he had been victorious.
Okay.
It must have been truly hilarious for our leader who sat
That was nice
idly
of the
in
game.
the real world's interrogation room.
That is pretty funny.
Surely he was acting quite cocky by himself in that quiet chamber.
So that's why you gave me your phone. I only took it because of what you told me.
It's a shame I didn't have the opportunity to see that for myself.
I'm just glad I didn't die.
All I could do was try to handle all the messages that started coming to me on his phone. So in other words, I've been to the metaverse, albeit for a brief moment.
In our experience, there is little danger when someone enters their own palace for so short a time.
That's the other reason we had him give it to you. We needed you to listen to Alibaba, deceive the guard, and ultimately aid in his escape. By having you head back to the interrogation room, we could return you to the real world as well.
I mean, I had to think of some way to keep you from running into Akechi mid-assassination.
Huh. Astounding. I hadn't the slightest idea that such a grand operation was taking place within me.
I'm so glad he was able to persuade you during the interrogation. Even though we knew Akechi's plan, we were pretty worried about that part.
Oh, okay, hold on. I'm actually gonna look over in chat for this. When I first started this game, one of my long-term viewers warned me. He said, Ko, when you play this game, just keep in mind, play it thoroughly, because you can get a bad ending. Is that the bad ending? If we had not convinced Sae to join us, would that have been the bad ending? If there's another point for the bad ending, don't spoil that. Yes, it was. Wow, no kidding. No kidding. So we could have potentially had like 100+ hour game that just... Wow. Oh, and actually, thank you for not spoiling. Some other people in chat are saying there are several points where that can happen. So, thank you. In that case, I'm going to stop reading chat. Thank you. Thank you.
True.
If I get a bad ending, that's just how it happens. That's our game. That's our playthrough. Whatever. So,
why is that?
I don't want hints on how to avoid it.
Futaba's plan and subsequent breakout would have never been possible.
Thanks, guys. For real.
That persuasion was easily our greatest gamble. We couldn't consult Sis beforehand. It was absolutely the make or break moment of the entire plan.
Still, I'm surprised you could convince me in such a short time. Were you
Oh, I would have
confident you
messed
could
it
do
up if I sold them out? Oh my god, I was this close to selling them out too. Holy shit. Oh man. that was a 50-50 for me. Whew, okay. Whew. The game saved me. Yes, it did. The game saved me. Are you sure you want to sell them out, Ko? Are you sure you want to do that? Ah, well, now that you mention it, game, I don't. Okay. Don't remember. Drugs. Oh, wait. Still, I'm surprised you convinced me in a short amount of time. Were you confident you could do it? Don't remember drugs.
Understandable. Either way, I can't believe you went for such a risky idea.
If we could just tell you the true culprit's plan, I knew you'd realize the bigger picture. Realize that our leader was telling the truth.
Cocaine.
And that there was a greater evil to pursue.
As a result, we emerged victorious.
Then the reason you kept this a secret from me was so you could catch the true culprit, correct?
Yes. Plus, you had lost control of yourself at the time.
This is stunning. All I can really do is laugh.
I've kind of figured out that you guys made Akechi kill a fake. But what did you do about the body?
The police never even checked it.
So that answers that question. Interesting.
Huh?
They had a coroner working to ensure his death was reported as a suicide. That coroner didn't take one look at the scene and just passed along a falsified death certificate.
That actually really works in our favor.
The bad guys have that much
It's
influence?
really good that that happened.
Murder in a police station would be reckless otherwise. We also knew of a possible conspirator.
Thanks to Futaba-chan's messages and the guard's demeanor, I eventually came to understand. And since the higher-ups at the police knew nothing of this, they were thrown into disarray. As a result, his suicide during imprisonment was reported on the news, just as Akechi planned.
It sucks for in-game Ko. Nobody calls him by his name. Always this guy or leader. I know, right? But well, realistically they couldn't have voice acted any names. But I agree. It's done pretty well, actually. I think. But yeah.
And with that confusion, he was able to escape with Nijima-san's help.
I made sure nobody would check the morgue for his body, and thanks to that, nobody knows he survived.
Awesome.
Thinking back to the interrogation, though, I can't believe what they did to him. The callous use of violence, and even drugs, is utterly abnormal. If he had lost consciousness and hadn't been able to tell Sis about the phone, he would have died. I'm truly glad you made it back safe.
Close.
I almost became one of your assailants as well.
It still freaked me out when I saw the suicide on the news, though.
We made sure to live normal lives while he was being interrogated to avoid drawing any suspicion. Even with that, I couldn't help but worry for him in my heart.
Well, I knew right away that her plan worked out.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to believe, but considering what we were up against.
Ryuji's a bit on the dense and carefree side.
Can it, cat?
I had to be patient and avoid this place until things settled down. I finally feel relieved.
We knew he was alive, but it was difficult to not worry until we could confirm it in person.
Now that I think about it, my interrogation was just a formality for the head commander. What a joke, letting me interrogate someone who was meant to die. They just wanted to avoid backlash.
Dabe says, care to explain the phone and Sai part? Fats Off Dogbelly, what happened was they basically used Akechi's phone and Futaba remotely hacked it to send people to the metaverse. So when Akechi was walking to the room in reality, Futaba pinged the phone, transferred Akechi and Sae temporarily into the metaverse. Akechi then goes in, kills Ko, and as he's leaving, re-enters the normal world without even realizing that he left. And all that part about confirming the normal clothes, making sure the cognitive Ko was in there, that was all basically saying that it was good. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That's not Akechi's phone, Ko's phone. Yeah, sorry. I got the names reversed there. But they hacked into Ko's phone and pinged that. Yeah. Okay. So wait. Well, we still need to figure out... Okay, so we're missing a piece here. We're missing a piece. Hold on.
Very well.
We're gonna let the game
From
keep
here
going.
forward, I will do my utmost to assist you. You saved me, after all.
I think I'm missing the piece between Sae showing the phone to Akechi. So give me a second.
That's reassuring to hear.
I'll do whatever I can to help too. Let's take a break for now, though. This old brain is pooped. Oh, and feel free to use the first floor when you guys want to get together to talk. You'll need a hideout where you can be safe. Just say the word, and I'll close shop early.
Oh, Dad.
Are you sure?
This guy can't leave. Plus, you won't make much progress if people can hear you from downstairs. It's not like this place is the liveliest joint in town. It won't be a huge loss for me.
What a bro. What a bro. My lord. From mess up once
Let
and
us
I'll sell
accept
your
his
ass
offer.
back to the cops to,
great
yeah, use
man.
my place for a hideout for your gang of thieves. I'd say that's about as 180 as we can get with him. Wow. What a bro. What a bro. CohhCarnage Keen.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, probably because I'm the kid that punched you back in the day.
It's me, Akachi.
Enter.
That's the death certificate of the principal offender, correct? Is there a
Sir,
problem with it?
somebody knocked over your radio tower in the background. You may need to stand that up. Oh, okay, here we go.
No, nothing in particular. More importantly, you've done well with regard to the prosecutors.
The cause of death for the SIU director has been settled as a stroke.
I had him work quite substantially on forging evidence. His loss should be mourned.
It was thanks to his efforts that I could enter the Phantom Thieves' interrogation room, too.
The SIU is in disarray with his death. I'll take my time choosing a successor after the elections.
At any rate, I'm now praised as a hero, and I owe it all to the Phantom Thieves.
All possible hindrances are now gone. There's no doubt that this election is mine.
We should steal Akechi's heart. The last palace in the game, Akechi. Actually, I'd like to... Dude, we should steal both their hearts. Next palace is Akechi, final palace is Shido. Done. We're good.
And on to our next story, the snap election for the House of Representatives.
Oh.
Discussion is swirling around potential nominees as the deadline for candidacy announcement nears. Candidates will announce on the 23rd of this month, while voting will be held on the 18th of next.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I guess if Akechi has a persona, then he wouldn't have a palace. We could get the other guy. But wait, if Akechi has a persona... No, I'm gonna wait for this.
Elections, huh? Don't matter to us. It's not like we can vote in them yet anyways.
Can you tell I have lots of questions?
Why don't we resume our conversation?
Oh, well, not that much. Did I skip anything? No, I didn't. Okay, good. Well, the Phantom Thieves are back together. We can finally take it to Akechi and the bastard backing
Have
him.
you figured out who's behind all this?
Akechi accidentally let that slip after the murder. He said, Shido-san.
Ah!
Shido. Feels like I heard that somewhere.
The jerk in the elevator that pushed by us.
He is unmistakably a man of power if he has such strong connections to the police.
Shido? Could it be Masayoshi Shido?
Who? I believe he's a politician. Remember Ryuji? You said his speech was too loud.
For real?
It's certainly possible that Shido is the mastermind.
Do you have some kind of evidence?
Nothing material. However, there are various conditions which align with that possibility. First, he would profit from damage done to the current administration by the psychotic breakdowns. He's maintained a negative stance toward the Phantom Thieves and has gained tremendous popularity. On top of that, he'll most likely become the next Prime Minister if he wins this upcoming election.
No!
Did he set us up with that election in mind?
Bam!
If he is behind all this, that would be in stark opposition to his honest public image.
So his current position and popularity is just him benefiting from the mental collapses.
We'll make him have a change of heart, no matter what it takes.
Mom.
Shido, huh?
What is the matter?
I had a feeling he was wrapped up in all this. just based on the connections I had from my previous job.
Whoa.
I think the one who crushed Wakaba's research and confiscated her materials was probably Shido.
Whoa!
The moment Wakaba died, I had a hunch he was involved. But there wasn't anything I could do. So I chose to protect Futaba and went into hiding.
Why didn't you say that sooner?
Right?
You guys would have definitely gone after him if I had. He would have just killed all of you, no doubt. That's what he usually does to people who get in his way.
Originally, I was looking into the mental shutdown cases. It was then that I accidentally stumbled upon government research regarding the psychotic breakdowns. So I tracked down the whereabouts of that research data and met with the associated parties. Boss was one of those parties. I would never have imagined all of this was connected. The mental shutdowns, psychotic breakdowns, Shido, and even the Phantom Thieves' actions.
Way back when, Shido kept saying he was going to be Prime Minister one day. Nobody believed him, though.
What's going to happen to this country if Shido becomes Prime Minister? What about the world?
The issue is simpler than that. This is nothing more than yet another selfish adult trying to impose his will on the public.
I have to admit, every time I'm getting into this, and then one of the kids mentions, it's all the adults' fault, then I'm just kind of like, oh god, come on, man. I mean, Akechi's a dick, and he's not an adult. He's like the ultimate bad guy in the game, and he's not an adult. Don't be an ageist, okay? Jesus. Bunch of ageists in here.
We gotta expose that rotten bastard.
Yeah, we'll do it like always. Then let's check the nav.
Masayoshi Shido, the guy running for Prime Minister. Got a hit! Well, duh. It ain't a surprise he has one.
Where would the location be?
Probably wherever the Prime Minister hangs out? Or his house?
What kind of things go through a politician's head?
Oh god. Yo, Twitch has new guidelines. We can't talk about this.
I always think of dirty money and shady actions.
Careful, Futaba.
What does he do? And where? We don't got a clue about this guy's life.
His palace must be somewhere that politicians frequent. Any ideas?
Now, one guy's palace earlier was like the whole city. I wonder if the entire country could be his palace. No, that'd be big. I think the Diet Building. Or like, the Diet Building is like the I don't really... I would say wherever the Prime Minister spends most of his time. So I guess that would be the Diet Building.
We got a hit!
There we go.
How arrogant must he be to see himself as the ruler of the Diet
Well,
Building?
he wants to be the Prime Minister, right? Isn't that the top position?
Our next target's the big shot politician Masayoshi
Okay.
Shido. We're gonna do this, right?
Well, he's not there yet, but I mean, that's obviously, if he's been talking about being there for years, that's where he would see himself. What about Akechi?
No need to waste time with him. We just gotta hit the head.
Well, Akechi
Nobody
might
against
protect
it?
him.
Of course.
What is the Diet Building? In Japan, the Diet Building is would be kind of like Congress here in the United States. It's where like their representatives get together to do governing, from what I understand. And that could be incorrect, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I think. Yeah, I hope.
He will be a worthy opponent.
Let's win this together.
Time for revenge.
The legislator. Yeah. Well said, HMN. Yeah. It's where you go to lose weight? No, I don't think that's accurate. No. Good guess, though.
Then it's unanimous.
All we gotta do now is figure out what he thinks that Diet Building place is.
So that's the app that allowed me to enter the metaverse.
An old fart like me can't wrap his head around all this stuff.
Right, Sajiro? I'm with you, buddy.
We'll have to deal with this before Election Day, December 18th. That means we need it done by the 17th.
Wait, I'm not allowed to, like, leave the house, am I?
It's best we hurry before they discover there's no body in the morgue.
Do I get another round of meeting people?
Should we start tomorrow then? We can meet at the diet building after school.
Wait, what?
That reminds me. What are you gonna do about school? You can't show up if you're supposed to be dead.
Yeah.
Miss Kawakami said he went back home for family reasons.
Kawakami-san. Oh, she's the best maid ever.
That's what I told the school.
Cool.
Don't let him find out you're alive then, alright? This whole thing would be for nothing.
What do you mean?
This operation had another purpose outside of escaping Akechi's clutches. Shido tried to place all the blame on the Phantom Thieves and deceive the public at the same time. He has ruined countless lives, and even made Goro Akechi, a student, assist him with assassinations. A mere change of heart is too lenient a sentence for such an abominable criminal.
We'll be making use of the police statement that the leader of the Phantom Thieves committed suicide. Our leader, who is presumed dead, will come out of hiding to deliver a grand statement. He'll say he has escaped prison, not committed suicide, and was in fact almost killed by a criminal.
Everyone's gonna flip.
You guys thought through all this stuff too?
We're intellectuals, you know.
Ryuji, I will quit this game right now if you ever say that again. You are a button click away from me never playing this game again. Don't you dare.
That's why you needed such a daring trick as getting captured and appearing to be killed.
Okay.
What frightening teenagers.
For real.
The true battle has only just begun. We won the first round, but we must stay on our toes.
It really does feel like all the game up until now was just like getting ready for this part of the game.
Yeah, this ain't the time to be celebrating.
These people tried to trap and kill us. There is no end to their inhuman, conniving nature. We will need to be prepared for whatever may come our way.
If any future Twitch streamer ever plays this
Finally made
game,
it this far. It's already been 2.5 years since we met.
do yourself a favor and make a for real emote before you start playing. Let's just go ahead and throw that out there. All right, let's do it.
Back then, you earned the media's attention as a young politician who could rise up against bureaucracy. Because of that, those who wanted to preemptively deal with problems tried to tie you up in scandal.
To think I would fall for the ruse schemed by those decrepit fools in power. I recall that's when you came to me. You promoted yourself saying you had special powers. If it wasn't for the research on cognition that I dabbled in, I would have thought you insane.
I made those troublesome opponents psychotic, and erased any trace of that scandal.
Who'd think that tampering with a person's heart could trigger a psychotic lapse or mental shutdown? And when someone like that said he'd support me, I had suspected there'd be an ulterior motive.
It's because I sympathized with your aspiring ideology.
Sympathized. ED?
I believed that your ideals needed to be
Believed,
achieved
ED?
for the sake of the country's future.
Well, my faith in you was precisely why I pulled the plug on that research. I only need you using that power. It'd be troublesome if someone else uncovered how it works.
Man, that is dirty. That is dirty.
Wakaba Ishiki, was it? That researcher. She wouldn't have had to die if she just complied.
Any suspicions should be snubbed out. Even the smallest doubt must be severed at the root. After all, we had an active public prosecutor's office director on our side, until recently.
Astounding, isn't it? To think the director himself often forged evidence to secure his promotion. He was quite surprised when you confronted him about it. He didn't know who leaked that information. Well, I got that out of his shadow, so technically speaking, he did it himself.
This country's affairs have become stagnant. The political world is filled with old men who only act to preserve their own vested interests. The general public has forsaken such political affairs and don't even bother. Only ruin awaits us.
I must agree.
There's no need to be ruined along with such incompetent fools. I will lead this country to its revival. Those who get in the way must be eliminated at times. That's the correct way to use the metaverse.
Still, it would stand out if there were continuous deaths and scandals with your political rivals. Which is why I made them suspects. Prosecute the targets that I turn psychotic, and solve them as cases unrelated to you. And thus, the charismatic ace detective was born.
Thanks to your efforts, my clean image remains untarnished, and I've monopolized public opinion.
Isn't it great when the evil guys explain everything? Oh, it's great.
Once I gained public sentiment, collaborators from all sectors began approaching me on their own.
That moment Julia shows you another Yakuza emote. Okay.
The police were no exception. With their management in my pocket, keeping them in check was easy.
When the Phantom Thieves emerged, I thought things might become somewhat troublesome.
And they were just brats once we looked into it. All we needed to do was lay the blame on them.
When you told me that, I knew then that you were the better man.
Their popularity was a bit beyond my expectations, but flipping it made the negative press stronger. After that, all I had to do was openly berate them. I've been gaining more supporters since.
Rude.
The current administration is dead with ongoing scandals. Never mind the fact that they're my doing.
Sunbro will carry us through.
Even the government parties have begun splitting up, and they're dissolving just as planned. The time has finally come. Just a little more, and I will take the seat of Prime Minister. However, inauguration isn't my goal. That's when everything truly begins. I'll make this country rich for the sake of its selfish and ignorant masses who can only rely on others.
In other words, you're creating a powerful country that can compete with the world.
Are you trying to make a comment on America?
The public resonates with my ideals and follows me.
Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. Wait a second, wait a second. Is this one of those little pokes at America? I think it is. I think it is.
And for that, some sacrifices can't be avoided.
Oh, Japan. So rude.
That is my duty as the chosen one. Your assistance has been very influential in making my plans proceed smoothly. When I become Prime Minister, I'll grant whatever wish you want.
With this most recent case, my name has become known across the country, perhaps even the world. Surely my story will be passed down as a hero who won against monsters that could control people's hearts. I believe I'll lay low and devote myself to my studies.
I suppose with your age, you wouldn't come up with debauched desires.
I am thinking about the future, though.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Akechi is interesting me because he is clearly like as evil as it gets. Like this dude is evil. So, what happens when a persona user gets distorted desires? Like, does their persona become distorted and they don't get a palace? I'm sure they're gonna explain all this. It's just interesting stuff to think about.
Guess you won't be going to school for a while. Don't worry about it. This'll be a breeze compared to what we've had to face so far. And we'll have all the time to come up with the plans together.
And I can pet you behind your soft, cute cat kitty ears.
To be perfectly honest, I don't really care what happens to Shido, one way or the other. But when I consider the fact that he's your enemy, I naturally think he's my enemy as well. I'm going to stay with you until the very end.
Thanks, Morgana. Morgana, bro. That didn't get us a thing? Oh.
Well, how do I put this?
Well, you put it like this. Looks like things have finally settled down. Oh, well, you're not really asking. Life's gonna get real busy for you starting tomorrow, right? Get some rest.
Well
The
then.
Chief's right, let's hit the hay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the police report on your death isn't gonna show up at your school. No need to worry. Seems Prosecutor Najima worked out some kind of deal with the higher-ups or something. I mean, they haven't even said anything to me, even. As long as you stay quiet, you'll be fine. And I guess if they reported your death now, they'd basically be saying you were a Phantom Thief. They can't really go announcing what the Phantom Thieves are, so I'm sure they'll avoid that. Okay.
Well,
That reminds me, your relationship with Akechi unexpectedly grew stronger, didn't it? Even though Akechi was talking to the fake you at the time. It's true. I noticed that too. Akechi met the con of you in the palace. I don't know what he said to that version of you in there, but we should make use of this. And if nothing else, it shows our operation was a smashing success. Remember how I hijacked your phone during the school trip? That kind of came in handy. How so? Well, remember how I put that wiretap app in Akechi's phone? Basically, let me see GPS info for 2 phones, yours and his. Now, what could I do with that info? I'd be able to tell the precise moment Sei Najima, who had your phone, ran into Akechi. That's when I saw my chance and beep sent the signal to activate the Metaverse Navigator on Ko's phone. But there was a chance they just passed each other without saying a single word. That's why we need you to tell Sei Najima to show the phone to Akechi.
whoa.
This plan still surprises me no matter how many times I hear it.
But
Still, I couldn't just directly hack into the Metaverse Nav. It's a mysterious app after all. But you know how it has that bookmark function? All you have to do is push the button. Making the phone think he was pushing that button was totally doable. Wow, so that's what happened.
hey.
May not have looked like it, but everyone else was risking their lives too. Can I talk? Okay, we're gonna have to talk to everyone more. Though there's no doubt you were the most at risk. I mean, you actually got arrested, but it seemed like all the drugs and stuff made you forget the details of the plan. Want me to explain how it all went down? It might take a bit. Sure.
All right.
We had to pretend we never wanted to get you arrested. Pretend the suicide news was a real shock. Basically, we had to act like we didn't know anything 24/7. The enemy knows who we are, so we couldn't let our guard down even once while you were gone. If they had people watching us and realized what our plan was, they would have killed you immediately. Want to hear more? I do.
Damn.
Another tough part was figuring out how to get Sei Nijima and Akechi back from the metaverse. In order to return to reality, you have to go back to the point where you came into the metaverse. So Sei and Akechi had to go through where the nav activated, as in the hall where they met. Akechi would just come back the same way after the assassination. The real issue was Sei Najima. We needed to stop her for a moment before she headed back towards the interrogation room, but nothing could be sent to a phone inside the palace, so I had to program the messages in beforehand. In doing so, I made it seem like the messages were coming at that exact moment in time. Good God! That part was kind of last minute, so I had to pull an all-nighter trying to get it set up. I'm really on a roll here. Want to hear more? Yes! Let me see. Another problematic thing was, oh yeah, tying Akechi up. That was really tough. I obviously don't mean the real Akechi. Even if we could do that, it would ruin our plan. The one we had to tie up was Sei Najima's cognitive Akechi. This part's really complicated. I know you're tired. You sure you want to hear all this? I
right,
do!
let's go.
Well, we needed to lure Akechi into Sei Najima's palace to have him kill the cognitive Ko. But Akechi would have entered the palace immediately after meeting Sei Najima in the hallway, right? Because of that, there was a pretty decent chance he'd run into cognitive Akechi, and if that happened, Akechi would have totally realized we had lured him into the palace. Nobody actually even thought of this possibility until the night before the assassination. Makoto realized in the middle of the night that it was a huge mess trying to figure out what to do. In the end, we chose to sneak into the metaverse while the plan was happening to tie up the cognition. Because he told Sei to show him the phone, we expected her to chat with him for at least a bit. So we had a few minutes to strike up the cognitive Akechi showed up. So we had a few minutes to strike after the cognitive Akechi showed up, but before the nav activated. It was Operation Tie Him Up, though it wasn't really much of an operation in the end. Thankfully, Sei Najima didn't know his true nature, so the one that appeared was an ordinary kid. It was pretty simple surrounding him, knocking him out, and tossing him on another floor. But man, watching Makoto's skill was super amazing. I guess she does use Knuckles as her weapon. Basically, what I'm trying to say is appreciate what everyone else did. All sorts of stuff happened. Phew. I just can't help but rant when I'm talking about stuff that interests me, right? Sorry about that. Just focus on resting up. You don't have to worry about anything else. And seriously, well done, Ko. Wow. Well done, devs. Well done. That was
I'll
a
just
ride.
add this.
That was a ride. Good job on the deaths, man. That was... Whew. Elite says, show Yakuza emote. All right, Elite, I definitely will show you the Yakuza emotes when we start playing Yakuza this October. When I finally finish this game. All right, let's keep playing. Actually... Wait, what is she even looking at? I think she's looking at you. Oh! The light just came on, so... There's a light around my camera, and it just caught Siri-chan's attention. Awesome. Boop. There we go. Okay. Anyway, you know what? We've got a lot coming up, don't we? I'm gonna go grab some lunch real quick. Hey, sweetheart? You still there? Damn, okay. I think we have a babysitter this afternoon. So what that means is I think I'm gonna go ahead, grab some lunch, come back, and we're gonna get like another 3+ hour block in. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go somewhere kind of close today.